Hello and welcome back to Curating Simple, where I share on a variety of holistic health and lifestyle topics for you to learn from, relate to, and enjoy. My name is Alexis, and this is a 6-month update video on the Corso LE modular travel system from Chicco. I have another video on this travel system, and I recorded that early on postpartum, so I didn't have a really good chance to use the travel system at the time I recorded that video. So I wanted to do this update video to give you some more like real life anecdotes of how this travel system has worked for us, features I like or dislike about it, things that could be better, and really just give you some insight on how it's fit into our daily routines and outings and the ways that we use it. I have gotten lots of comments and questions on that previous video, which has really motivated me to just make a new update video, which I intended to do all along, but lots of great questions. And I hope that this video gets deeper into some of the answers that I gave and just kind of makes it easier for those of you who are looking for car seat strollers, travel systems, and comparing them and figuring out what's going to be the best fit for you. That leads me to the next point, is that every car seat stroller travel system deal setup that you can purchase or find secondhand, they're all going to be different in some way or another. And just weigh your options, figure out what's really a must-have, what's something that you can compromise on, and then whatever travel system you go with, definitely look for the positives in it. It can be easy sometimes to dwell on the things that aren't just right, or they're not perfect, or they're a little inconvenient. I found that this travel system for us in particular has been a great setup, and we've actually really enjoyed it. Once you kind of get used to using a new thing like this, usually the most of the frustration is in the beginning when you're still trying to figure out like how do I use this, how does it work, what's the ins and outs of it, how does it fit into my car, how does it fit into my routine and my lifestyle. That's like the trickiest, like most finicky part. But then again, once you figure all that stuff out, still there will be features on probably just about every option that you could have purchased that you would have been like, this kind of sucks, or this could have been better. So just really trying not to like dwell on the things that you would change about it and appreciate the good things about it that really are what you were looking for and that work in the way that you want them to, or that are just nice features, or the things that they really nail it on. So all that said, before I get into the clips and some of the tips and insights, I just wanted to say that this whole video and my previous video, it's all just my honest opinion. This is a very honest and unbiased review. I'm not affiliated with Chicco. I'm not sponsored in this video. I'm not affiliated with them, so I don't make a commission if you purchase this travel system or anything like that. So this is really just an informative, like educational type video. And yeah, I just wanted it to be helpful to those who might be considering this option when they're on the hunt for the perfect travel system. Okay, and yeah, just thank you for being here, for checking out this video. I encourage you to stick around to the end because I decided, hey, it's been 6 months. Why not give this car seat a wash? So that also gives you a little insight into how to get the fabric off of the car seat, what it looks like after being washed, and all that good stuff. So stick around to the end. Leave comments if you have any questions, if there's anything you love about the stroller, if there's anything that I missed and you have the stroller and you're like, oh my gosh, how did she not mention this? Definitely leave it in the comments. This is helpful for everybody watching this video and reading the comment section. Yeah, let's just like be a resourceful guide to everyone on the hunt. You will see me in the next video. Enjoy. For reference, we drive a 2016 Ford Explorer, and this is what our third row seating in the stow position often looks like when we are taking the stroller somewhere and we have our things packed up in the back. And basically the first part of this video, I'm just going to be getting the stroller in and out of the car a few times so you can have an idea of what that looks like for me on a typical basis. Right here, I'm doing this one-handed with the baby in one arm, which is something that you learn to do very well and quickly. when you become a mom. And I wanted to mention that I didn't record for this video storing the stroller in the back of the car when the third row seating are in the upright position. The stroller does fit when the seats are upright in the very back. However, if one of the seats is in the stow position and the other one is folded or upright, the back wheels on the stroller are just a little bit too wide to fit behind that upright seat. So again, that second seat has to either be folded or also upright. When we started to use the stroller seat attachment more often, it seemed like she didn't have enough hip support. I didn't think to use the hip support infant insert for the car seat on the stroller. I'm not exactly sure if it would fit or function that way or not. I didn't even really think to give it a try, but I did start just rolling up a muslin blanket like this, and I would just tuck it underneath her legs and wrap it around her hips to give her what I think would be a little bit more comfortable support. She's always been really comfortable like this. She doesn't tend to like fuss extra if she doesn't have that extra hip support, but to me it just seemed like it would be a little bit more comfortable for her. I do like the full-size canopy on the stroller and that you can shrink it down just by zipping up one of the panels. I also really like that there's the mesh window in the top so you can see baby when you're pushing from behind. One of the main complaints about this stroller has to do with the canopy and the loud clicking noise that it makes when you open and close it. Now let's have a look at the undercarriage storage basket. Hi sister.
What up? What you doing?
I'm recording my update video for the stroller. I get so many people asking me questions about it. I'm like, I just need to put in a video to show y'all. As you can see, I'm able to fit a good sized personal cooler, the diaper bag, and a rolled up picnic blanket in the undercarriage basket. Here on the little bumper bar, I'm wrapping a toy around. This keeps baby entertained and engaged, but I have noticed that while she's still pretty small, sometimes it blocks her view a little bit. So lately we've just been keeping it off of the stroller seat attachment. Here I am unloading the storage basket underneath. Usually the easiest way to do this is by folding up the stroller seat if the baby's not in it. The footrest on the stroller seat attachment is adjustable. There are two buttons on either side of it, which can sometimes be a little bit tricky to press in, but as you can see, when the footrest is all the way down, it can be kind of tricky to access the storage basket from the front. To fold the stroller, you just lift up the footrest of the seat until it's folded all the way up. And this is a one-hand fold. You just squeeze and pull the handle up, and the handle comes down the back. You can lift it up and put it into your car. One thing that I think I mentioned on my previous video is that I wish there was a latch to keep the stroller folded while you're moving it around so that maybe you don't pinch a finger. One thing that's not necessarily a deal breaker, but just a detail that I noticed is that the stroller stores best in the folded position when the wheels in the back are locked. When they're not locked, the lock brakes can like bump into the handle, and also the cup holder. If it's all the way up in the highest position on the sidebar, it does hit the wheel when you close it so that the bar doesn't come all the way down when your stroller is folded. So you just basically position the cup holder a little bit further down on the bar, maybe a couple inches, and it's just fine. Here I am switching out the stroller seat attachment and the car seat carrier attachment, and I'm storing the stroller in the car this way. Typically I just will set the stroller seat on top of it so it's really not taking up any extra space in the car. I'd like to store the stroller in the back of the car with the handle on top, not on the bottom when it's laying down. That just makes it a little bit easier to get it out. Here's what it looks like when I'm getting it out of the car, two-handed, just kind of controlled. One thing that people asked about on the previous video that I made is if you can fold the stroller when the seat is facing the handlebar. Unfortunately, this is not possible with the stroller. Essentially, if you have the stroller seat facing the handlebar or facing the person pushing the stroller, you do have to take the seat off, either leave it off or reattach it facing forward in order to properly fold and store the stroller. Another tip that you can kind of see me doing right here is that I'm pulling the stroller backwards so that the front wheels swivel forward. This just helps the stroller to fold up more neatly and those front wheels don't get in the way. There are 3 recline positions for the stroller seat: upright, middle, and then reclined, which is this one, and it's almost lying completely flat. I've noticed that baby's very comfortable in each of the positions. One of my favorite features about the stroller is just how well it goes over rocky, bumpy, uneven terrain. Here I'm pushing the stroller up a pathway. It is on a bit of an incline, maybe like 20 degrees or so in gravel, and then we switch over here to some bumpy grass. And maybe the video doesn't show it as well, but I'm pushing this thing one-handed up the hill. I'm kind of putting my body into it, but the wheels go over everything very well, very smoothly. So we don't ever feel like we're kind of in a trapped position if we're going through the park and we've got the stroller, or we're just kind of in like a weird place where maybe there's a lot more rocks on the ground or something like that. The wheels do really get over those different surfaces very well. Something that my husband was excited to discover about this stroller was that you can change the suspension. It looks like it switches from more of a bumpy ground surface to more of a flat level surface. And then in the front, you can actually lock the wheels so they don't swivel. This isn't something that we've really had to use much, but it was, again, one of those things my husband was excited to discover for himself. And he discovered it when we were at the park and he wanted to just rock baby back and forth, but he didn't like how the front wheels were swiveling. So he took a closer look and noticed that he could lock them. The back of the stroller seat does have a nice size mesh basket that, as you can see, holds quite a few things in here. The zipper pocket on the back, I don't know if that's really to be used much as storage, but I do appreciate how straightforward it is and simple to adjust the height of the straps on the stroller seat, even if it might take a little bit of finessing to really like push the latches through the holes. But also, if you don't want to use them, you can just kind of tuck them up like this to get them out of the way. This car seat is pretty dirty. We've been able to keep it without any major filth and messes, but I'm going to take all of this off without following any of the instructional manuals or videos for the car seat. And as I do this, I'm really looking to see how intuitive and user-friendly it is to take the fabric off of the car seat, to wash it, and to put it back on. So I don't know how long this is going to take me. It only took me about 6.5 minutes to take all the fabric off the car seat. And in that time, I would say I learned there's a few things to do in order that will make it just an easier unassembly process overall, a little bit faster. And that is to remove the infant headrest pad, the shoulder strap pads, and the crotch pad, as well as the canopy fabric, and then moving on to unlatching the straps in the back of the car seat so that when you're ready to take off the body fabric of the car seat, everything just slips off more smoothly. Then you go on to remove the headrest and backrest pad, which are attached together. Again, overall, this was a very easy process. It didn't take me long at all, especially for the first time, and not following any instructions that would have probably made it easier and faster. But putting everything back onto the car seat was also just as simple, if not more simple, because I knew how I took it apart. Then I did give the seat a good wipe down. One thing I don't have a clip of for this video is the side attachment for the canopy. It did wear a little bit when we would position the canopy in a lopsided position, with one side being more open and one side being more closed. This is just something I talked about in my previous video, and I would just not recommend doing that very often so that it doesn't wear out the plastic. But another way that we avoided lots of major blowout messes on this car seat is just by having a burp rag behind baby in the seat, so that any messes would get on a fabric that can be easily tossed into the washer. But overall, I'm very satisfied with how clean the car seat fabric turned out. It truly does look brand new.